Welcome to Workplace Psychology with Dr. Martha Grajdek. I'm Dr. Martha Grajdek. This podcast examines a wide variety of work-related issues through the lens of industrial and organizational psychology. And while many of the topics discussed here may be seen as intended for white-collar employees and their employers, in reality, the ideas presented here are applicable across organizations and industries. Additionally, many of the topics discussed here may be applicable outside of the workplace. I encourage you to examine what's presented here, apply what makes sense to you, and simply discard the rest.
Workplace wellness programs are not a new idea. This is something that has been around for many, many years now, and many organizations incorporate it into the workplace experience for their employees. Some of the benefits that are often associated with workplace wellness programs are things such as physical health initiatives, mental health support, and financial wellness. And although these are first and foremost well-meaning programs, there is a flip side to the purpose of having such programs within an organization, and that of course is the gains that both the organization and the workforce can expect from such programs. The organization, when providing any kind of benefit, has a reasonable expectation to have some kind of return on investment. And of course, it makes sense that if, as an organization, you provide a wellness program or a series of wellness programs for your workforce, there will be something for you to gain from having that as part of the workplace experience. Fewer sick employees, fewer sick days, lower turnover, lower stress and burnout, and of course, financial well-being of your employees. All of those things can add up to benefits that the organization can enjoy today and into the future. It goes without saying that these are also obviously benefits for individual employees. And while the return on investment may be one of the most straightforward ways of figuring out the benefits of such wellness programs or how well they're doing, there is another way of measuring their success, and that of course depends on feedback from employees. Return on investment provides a very straightforward picture in terms of numbers and the bottom line. Employee satisfaction and retention can also be tremendously helpful. But another part of this equation lies in employee feedback regarding the usefulness of whatever wellness programs are in place within an organization. It's not uncommon that there may be employees at an organization who have very little knowledge or understanding of what wellness programs are available to them. While this may be something that is briefly mentioned when an employee is hired, it may not get any further exposure beyond that. It's a good idea for employers to survey their employees, not only as a means of understanding the employee awareness of what's available to them in terms of wellness programs, but also as a way of gaining feedback regarding the value of the current available wellness programs. It's not unheard of that an organization, well-intending, may spend time, energy, and money putting wellness programs in place, which end up not being used by their employees, not helping the company, and not being useful to the employees. And while it may seem like a no-brainer to consider wellness programs from an angle of a customized benefit, But unfortunately, many organizations simply implement something that is standard and widely available across many organizations that may or may not be the best set of benefits or wellness programs that fits the organization's needs in terms of their workforce. So once an organization understands things such as bottom line, such as the numbers, return on investment, retention, employee engagement in such programs, and, of course, the employee awareness and satisfaction with these programs, now is the time to tailor wellness programs in such a way that they truly end up benefiting the organization and its workforce. The organization also has the responsibility of promoting wellness programs, the participation in them, and general inclusivity. Wellness programs should not be seen as something that's taboo or only available or utilized by a certain subgroup within the workforce population. Wellness programs are meant to be preventative in nature in many cases, and do not have to be solely a response to a situation. So, as employers continue to struggle to attract and retain the right talent, wellness programs are a big part of the workplace experience. All employers will do well to understand whether or not they have the right wellness programs in place and how to customize these programs in such a way that they are truly being utilized and benefit both the organization and the employees. And while the bulk of the responsibility lies with the employer, as an individual employee, you have a responsibility and an opportunity to voice your opinion regarding the available wellness programs. Don't wait for your employer to ask you or to have a formal survey. Evaluate what's available to you and be willing to share your feedback with your employer. You might be surprised how far that feedback goes. As this episode comes to an end, let's review what was discussed. Workplace wellness programs are not new, and they are quite common across many organizations. Unfortunately, they tend to be very similar, if not the same, as far as what they offer to the company's employees. And while that may suffice in many instances, there is definitely room for customization in terms of how successful these programs are and what returns on investment are a reality for the company, but also what benefits come into play for individual employees. Beyond measuring the obvious, the employer also has a tremendous opportunity by asking their employees to give feedback regarding wellness programs that are currently in place and then adjust what's available to the employees as needed. And remember to promote your wellness programs if you want them to be utilized. Neither employer nor employee can reap the benefits if nobody participates in the wellness programs that are currently available. As the week unfolds, I invite you to consider what wellness programs exist and are available within your organization, whether you're the employer or the employee. Make this an opportunity to improve on what's available and to utilize what's available for everybody's benefit. For those of you who experience this podcast in an audio-only version, I encourage you to check out my YouTube channel, Stress Free with Dr. G, where you can find the video version of the podcast. While there, check out some of the other videos. They all focus on an effective, comprehensive approach to stress management. So check out Stress Free with Dr. G on YouTube. The link for that is in the description below. Thank you for joining me today. Please subscribe to this podcast. I look forward to seeing you here again next time. Until then, I wish you joy and well-being.